Good morning and good afternoon, evening, Mari-san. This is Caroline Tapkin from Travel Daily, Inspiring Women in Travel Asia series. And today we're joined by Mari Tomoda, who is now based in Japan, but has a history in Thailand. So we are looking forward to learning about where you are, who you are, and how you got there, Mari. So please introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, where you are, and what got you there.
Thank you very much. Hello, thank you. Thank you for having me here. I'm very, very, very grateful. So my name is Mari. I'm pure Japanese. However, my mind already in more not like a Japanese person. I'm based in Osaka. I'm working in Moxy, Osaka, Shin, Umeda as a captain at the moment. So I'm being in this role for 6 months. And before 1 year, I was joining this hotel as a director of sales. And we opened this hotel. So I've been here almost nearly 2 years from the pre-opening. And before that, I was in different brand, but I've been in Japan for now 4 years now from coming back from Thailand.
Okay, fantastic. First of all, explain to us what captain is.
So the captain role is is hotel manager. So I report to the cluster GM, and so I'm managing one hotel, and my crew is front office staff and taking care of the guest.
Fantastic. So let's dig back a little bit into your history and how you got there, because to be a lady captain, hotel manager in Japan must be quite unusual. But so how did you get there? You said you lived in Thailand for a while. What took you to Thailand?
So at the beginning, I graduated in Japanese university, and then already my parents, my father was working in Japanese company in Bangkok. So after I graduate university, I had a choice working in Japan or moving to Bangkok with my parents. And in terms of I would like to improving my language skill. I decided to live with my parents, and I was learning Japanese speaking because Japanese, they can do the, so they can do really the grammar. However, they are very shy to speak. We never learn in school, so I was not good English speaker. Like still, I stuck sometimes. But I'm moving to Thailand, and then I learned, and then I had a lot of international friends there, so I must speak to English, and then I improved my English skill first, and then I had a chance to work in Western Bangkok at the first place to welcoming the Japanese guests and taking care of the Japanese guests. So as a front office.
Did you study hospitality?
No, I didn't study, but I always work in the service like a part-time like hospitality field. So I was in university, I was in the hotel taking care of the guests as a part-time, and also working in the restaurant. So I felt that I'm very good with people and communication. So I really enjoy working in the hotel, the Westin at the beginning.
So did you learn quite a bit working as Japanese? Were you Japanese manager? I know it was very common in Thailand in the
Right,
five-star hotels to have a Japanese guest contact person. So did you learn a lot of hospitality? Did you learn how did you learn to get to where you are today? What was the learning process there?
Yeah, so the first of all, that I never work in the hotel. So yes, my manager taught me from 0 to 100, and also there was a lot of Japanese lady working in the hotel. So my DOSM in the Western Bangkok was the Japanese lady, and my manager, my boss, like operation manager, is also the Japanese lady as well. So I felt that they are very have strong mind, because they move by themselves, that they interest in working overseas. So it's not like me. I was kind of staying with my parents and being a comfortable life. However, they were quite strong, and they have clear goal in their mind, that in the future what they want to be. So working with Japanese lady who live in Thailand, I quite learn a lot of mind, not the skill of the hospitality, but the skill of how to build the career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I learned.
And you progressed through sales and marketing.
Yes, because I married, and then I married with Thai, and I became mother,
Mm-hmm.
and I not able to work in the shift. So that's my thing that I like. I really love working in the hotel. So I shifted to the sales part. So I was doing the sales for the Japanese company. So I goes to the all the Japanese company to promote the hotel.
How long were you working in Thailand?
I've been working for 14 years.
Okay.
I living there for 15 years. Yes, I moved quite a lot of hotels, even the local, sometime in the local Thailand Thai company, and Marriott, and then IHG as well.
And then Marriott took you back to Japan?
Right. So the last job was in the Marriott, and that was also an opening hotel. So I did the pre-open. I was in one of the pre-opening team, and it was a very signature hotel in Bangkok at the time. And so my boss kind of, when I have 101, I mentioned about I'm planning to go back to Japan, and also he kind of suggesting and recommending to coming back to Japan. And then luckily that I have opportunity in Osaka, which is my local city.
Mm-hmm.
So my parents also live in very, very nearby at the moment. So it was very fortunate.
That's good. Yeah. So how did you find the transition going from 15 years in Thailand back to Japan? How was that?
Right. That was very difficult, very, very difficult for me, and then also I think for other people as well.
Japanese culture is very different, isn't it?
Yes, it's very different. Definitely, they respect the older generation, and then more experienced person, and that's already been there. And then also the sales team, 80% of sales team were male, and I was kind of hoping up to better position than them immediately. So it was very difficult time.
How did you handle those challenges? What got you through?
I was, when I thought about that, I was in kind of very dark zone that I never felt in Thailand before that. I never want to wake up and want to go to work. I never felt that in Thailand, and then that's first Japanese hotel experience. What really brought me down, and I think that I need to change somewhere a bit more comfortable than right now. So it's been only the 6 months, the first Marriott in Osaka, and then I moved to another hotel, which was the boss was foreigner, the DOSM was a foreigner, and then the female. So
so that really helped you adjust a little bit better back into Japanese culture and life.
Right. Yes. Even the foreigner, the OSM, and then the boss, the strong culture is there, and then I need to deal with. However, I have someone that I can share my feeling and then understand my feeling. And also, she was a single mother, and brought up 3 kids by herself, and so it's kind of, yeah, she made me a more comfortable working in Japan.
I think that demonstrates how important it is for senior female role models to take under their wing those who are up and coming. Very important that we help each other along the way. So what would you say was the greatest challenge that you had to overcome in that period, and how did you do that?
What was the challenge? So even so, my voice not really valued in the team, and that kind of outside experience that was really not how to say, not valued for the team. So they think that I don't have any experience in Japan, so you don't know anything about it. But so they didn't think that something else that I experienced, that which they don't have, they never experienced, that can be valued in some way. That kind of flexible mind, especially for older male generation, that they cannot accept that. I think still in Japanese mind.
Is that still an ongoing challenge?
At this point, yes, sometime, but not when making the decisions. So I discussed with my boss, who is foreigner and much experience in the overseas, and he also he doesn't think about male or female. He really fair and firm. So at this moment with my boss, I don't feel, but with the customer, yes, sometimes they feel more, how to say, they feel more appreciate when the male come, not the female.
Yes, that's still quite a challenge then, isn't it? But look where you are now, captain of the hotel. So what's the sort of reaction you get when you introduce yourself?
Yeah, they surprised, and some like a younger Japanese generation, they feel more appreciate too. Like, oh, I never seen the captain as a woman, and then ideally encourage you to be growing, or some warm words that I also will get.
I believe you're
And
the only one within Marriott, the only
yes,
lady captain.
yes, at the moment.
That's quite a position.
Right. Yes, I really proud when I heard that there is no woman, and then they appointed me as a captain in Moxy. I appreciate the Marriott for the opportunity, as well as our owner. Um, but of course, is still the gap of okay, I don't have much experience as a hotel manager too. That's also consulted, and then I look young, and I look not really mature or scary. So yeah, it's sometimes it's there is a challenge of um, dealing with a corporate office, dealing with the owner as well.
Yes, I can imagine. Who would you say is the major influence, positive influence in your career so far?
In my career is um, when I was working as a sales in is in different brand. I was a sales manager, and then the OSM. My boss was a Japanese male. Um, he he has been very open mind. That when I was working, he knows that I have a son. So when I was working, and then when it's the time to go home, he is the person to push me going home. And then he's the person always taking, like, carrying me, that if my son is okay, or my work is not overloaded, if I can still in balance out the work and the private life. And then I realized that hard working is not about working long time. It's about managing the time and then making the result. That's I was working with him for 3 years. He made me really realize how I should work as a single mother as well, and then as a salesperson, to maximize my ability within the limited time. So yes, he was really a nice boss. And then when I have another opportunity, he was sad that I'm leaving. However, he really pushed me, and then always be in the consult with me.
Fantastic. Fantastic to have somebody that you can turn to, even though you've moved on.
Mhm.
I know you're quite new in this role, aren't you? 6 months?
Yes, 6 months.
And during
Yes.
COVID times, which is quite a different experience, I guess. So your borders are still closed at the moment. Your guests must all be Japanese.
Right. Yes. We have quite huge rooms. So we have 288, and then we in the middle of Osaka. There is a lot of a lot of rooms available. So yes, this COVID situation very tough. However, my boss also support me, and then also Marriott support for the campaign and promotions. So we try to catch the local demand as much as possible.
It really is a baptism of fire for you, isn't it?
Right.
A
Yes.
perfect storm. The biggest challenges, taking over as captain, COVID, borders closed, Only
Right.
Japanese guests.
Yeah. And then no employee, no people. I don't know why, but because I think there is a border closed, and then the exchange, like students are not able to come in. So we are very hard to find the part-time or the new associates to join. That's also, I think, all the hotels looking for.
Worldwide at the moment.
Right.
Worldwide
Yeah.
problem. Nobody can move.
Right.
So although it's very early on in your career at the top, so to speak, how do you see moving forward that you can pass on this supportive mentorship to other girls coming up? What would your advice be to Japanese girls wanting to follow in your
Japanese.
footsteps?
Yes. Um, I feel very sad to see in Japan there like 80% of population are going to university, and then they study hard, and then they even study hard to get in the very famous popular university. That's men, and women is the same. However, women after graduated and then work in the company, a few years they starting to marry and then having kids, and then they starting to think just become housewife. That's still in the culture of Japan. That's I really sad to see. As the same lady, there is a lot of talent that still can balance between the life and the work. However, they choose to be more into their kids and then their family. I kind of do understand, but I hope that there is some open mind that they also can be in the same position as me, that they can really enjoy working with the people and then meeting the new people, and then value their family. That's I want them to kind of open their eyes.
Do you see that happening? I mean, now is a very difficult time. People are staying home, people are not, it's an unusual time. But do you see the culture beginning to change slowly?
I think major city like Tokyo probably they have kind of support, like nursery home and so on, and then the company that trying to open for the holidays for new dad that they can take, or those kind of system trying to be set there. However, I think it's not only about maybe the system, is really about the mindset of them. They think that women that aging is a bit lost than man, but man is gaining more power when they are getting older. But women think that when getting older, they are losing the power.
Yeah.
So that's why maybe they starting to think from the younger age that they want to have security in the future. I think that's I understand. I feel a bit sometimes get scared, of course, but
Yeah.
but that's also the good to live life as how I want to live.
And what do you see in your future?
For my future, yes, I want to grow my career. In the Marriott, there is a Marriott or any other hotel brand that trying to expand a lot of hotel in even this situation. There have a lot of new projects coming in within this 5-6 years. If I would like, of course, I would like to be GM, and then maybe a little bit bigger hotel as well. And I hope I can work again in overseas.
Oh, you'd like to go back overseas, would you?
Yeah. Yes.
Which
I'm
countries
not.
appeal to you? Where would you move to?
I never. I mean, I never work in the Middle East. Yeah, I never work in anywhere, but I know it's very more extreme, men and women differences culture there. However, yes, I would like to see the culture of Middle East, how they are managing the country.
Well, the one thing about hospitality is you get to move around if you want to. And with a chain
Right.
like Marriott, they have hotels everywhere.
Yeah.
So what steps are you taking to forward your career? How are you working on that?
So I need to more manage my operation skill, because my background was more sales. I was longer in the sales, so I need to have standard that policy that I need to learn, and as well as food and beverage.
Mm-hmm.
I need to also learn about that, and then I mean, this brand is very simple. It's select brand, so it's kind of a budget hotel. So Marriott also, there is another brand, lifestyle brand or luxury brand. So I need to work on the brand concept differently too.
Sounds amazing. So to finish up then, one piece of advice that you would give to your younger self, what would that be?
Be resistant.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Resilient.
Resilient. Yes, sorry, resilient. So always, whatever that happen, I need to think positive, and then need to think everything will be fine.
And just learn as you go along, learn everything you
Right.
can.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much for your time today. And we wish you every success with your new position and the future. And let's hope borders open soon and we can all come and visit.
Right. Yes, definitely. Please.
Okay. Thank you very much indeed. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah. Thank you very much.